What's up, guys? All right, let me see here. All right, so it looks like we are live. It looks like there should be a link here to go. Copy this link. All right, I think we're good to go. Looks like this is the first one. So, bearing with me here. What's going on, everybody? I think that people are in here with us. This is all a new system. So basically what this call is going to be today is this is going to be partially me figuring out this whole system, seeing where I can get into all of this and find, the link for comments and the link for questions and all of that fun stuff. And then simultaneously, I'm also going to be talking to you guys about a lot of cool stuff, sharing some value. We're doing this every single week on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. I'm calling this 52 Weeks to Financial Fulfillment. So let's just kind of break it down here while I figure out and fiddle around with all of this different stuff that we have going on here. Oh, I can stream it. Okay, this is pretty cool. This is cool. Let me see here. Can I make this any bigger? Okay, now I'm stuck down here. All right, bear with me for a second, guys. We're going to do viewer mode. And then if I go into... Nope, can't do that. Huh, I don't even know what I did. All right, so looks like I'm down in the corner now of my screen. I kind of knew that this was going to be the way that this video started. I, in fact, don't even know if anybody can see me, so I'm going to check on my phone to make sure I am actually live here and that people can actually see me and see what's going on and all of those sorts of things. So it looks like I have 2 viewers. Amazing. All right, super cool. So here's the way that this is going to work. So we're going to chat about make money and have fun. We're going to chat about 52 weeks to financial fulfillment, talk about what that looks like and how all of that works. I really don't know how to make my screen bigger again. This is very bizarre. Hold on a second here. Allow viewers to message you. Aha! I think I'm finding it. Ah, there we are. Hey, what's going on? All right, now I can see people's comments. Now it's working. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you. I'm excited that everybody is here. Amazing. All right, so let's get into it. So here's the deal. So my name is Fred Pacimo. For those of you that don't know me, Deb, I'm super excited to have you here. This is awesome stuff. But for those of you that don't know me, I am a lot of things, but mainly I'm the author of this book, Make Money and Have Fun. So let's kind of break this book down and talk about this real quick. So I wrote this book 2 years ago when I was 25 years old. And Make Money and Have Fun is really more than a book. It's a concept, it's a philosophy, and it really is just a way of being, a way of life that for me, I think makes the most sense for anybody to be that way. And I'm glad to hear that Mel is here with us. So I officially have 3 viewers now. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm super excited to have you on board with us here. So that being said, let's talk about make money and have fun. So for me, make money and have fun is this idea of alignment. And what do I mean? What do I mean by alignment? I mean this idea of everything that you want in your life coming together, coming into alignment, right? We see a lot of people that have one or the other. They make a ton of money and they hate their job. They hate their life. They're miserable. They're they're not ecstatic about the things that they do, and they're not lit up about the things that they do. And then we see the other side of the coin as well, where we have people that are exorbitantly happy and lit up and excited and exuberant, but they make no money and they can't move themselves forward, they can't progress, they can't escalate, they can't go anywhere with their life. What's up, Ed? I'm glad to see you here. Awesome. Nice to meet you, Cheryl. I'm glad to have you on board with us. And so that's basically the idea of make money and have fun, right? This idea of bridging that gap between both your passion, the thing that you love to do, and your prosperity. Because money is one of those things that's very interesting, where a lot of people get triggered by it in certain ways when you talk about money. People either think of it as something that's good, something that's bad, it's gluttonous, it's greedy, it's this, it's that. For me, I look at it as a necessity, right? We live in the 21st century, and today we don't hunt to get our food, right? We don't have to go out in the woods and sharpen pointy sticks and chase down animals and all those kinds of things. But we have money. We have this monetary transaction system, this economy that we live in where we need money to transact. So in my opinion, money is really modern day hunting. And for me, it's not a matter of needing to be gluttonous and needing to be greedy, but I believe that people should want to be well supported, right? And like, if we just think about it in that hunting analogy, it's like, do you want to be the caveman that needs to go out and hunt every day to get a little bit of food that nourishes you just enough for tomorrow? Or do you want to be the caveman that goes out and has exorbitant amounts of food and abundance when they wake up in the morning, right? You wake up in the morning and you have, just all of this food hanging on your walls that you can eat from, right? That's kind of the way that I look at money today, is the more abundance that we have with money, the more things we can now have in our life. And especially if we're in a situation where we're not just making money for the sake of making money, that's where I think the greedy and the gluttonous part really comes in. But we're doing something that we love, and we're receiving adequate value from that in the form of money, right? That is what Make Money and Have Fun is all about. And by the way, if you guys want a copy of this book, there should be a link in this video. I believe it's in this video somewhere. I think I linked it earlier, where you guys can actually get a free ebook of this book. So you guys can grab one for yourself. It's absolutely free. I'm not charging you $1 for it. Pick it up for yourself. You get the ebook version. There should be a link down below in the comments somewhere here with us, or just linked with this video. If you're watching this video right now, you should be able to see it. And if not, I'm actually just going to throw it into the comments section anyway. And let me just grab the link real quick, and I'll put it down in the comment section. If you want it, grab it. Be happy to give it to you. So now let's talk about kind of the breakdown of Make Money and Have Fun. So the way that I've kind of broken down the system behind Make Money and Have Fun is through something called the 4 elements. And the way that the 4 elements works is it's kind of an assessment, a self-assessment in each area of your life. And this is actually something that we talk about in my mastermind. So I run a mastermind. It's a weekly meeting, similar to this, but the value is stacked way higher. You have a group community where you guys come together, you can do deals, you can focus more specifically on the areas that you want. So let's talk about these 4 core elements, right? These 4 main elements. So the first one is money, right? So money is the first thing. I believe that if I were to take somebody from ground zero, if somebody came to me and every part of their life was as poor as it could be, as bad as it could be, I would start them off by making them money, right? Let's get them an income, and then we'll build everything else around that. So money is number one, and money encompasses everything having to do with it, right? Not just your income from your job, your employment, your business, whatever it might be, also your assets, also your investments that you're doing, also your savings, your retirement accounts, wealth building, taxes, appreciation rate. All of these things are encompassed in money. And that's what we talk about, right? So the first week of the month, every month in my mastermind, we talk about money, right? So that's our money week. We go in depth into business building. We talk about entrepreneurship. We talk about how to make more money, how to increase your income. We talk about different strategies and ideas, different things to do, and just, sharing thoughts and beliefs, and not beliefs necessarily, but thoughts, tips, tricks, and tactics to making more money with the community. And we have specific chats actually opened up inside of the community where people are just talking about money. So if that's something that you're looking for, right, that's where the money side is. But then the next level, so the second element is mind, right? And mind talks all about our mindset. It's about our psychology. It's about what's going on in here. So things like reading books, listening to educational podcasts, watching educational videos on YouTube, going to seminars, webinars, joining courses, hiring life coaches or business coaches or just different coaches in different areas, right? And building the brain up, right? Getting the mind right so that you're clear, you have a purpose, you know what you're going after and how you're going after it, and just decluttering everything that's in the way, getting rid of all the distractions, keeping you on track, keeping you focused, giving you goals, helping you create new habits. We even talk about things like morning routines or nighttime routines, things to just kind of hack our neurobiology and our neuro conditioning inside of us, our brain inside of us, so that we can perform at a higher level, right? We can start doing things at a higher level. We can become peak performers and do things that we weren't doing before because we're now working on the mind. So that's number two. So we have money, we have mind. The next one is heart, right? Heart is our third element. And heart has anything to do with your body, right? Your physical fitness, your nutrition, your health, your wellness, your well-being, all of those kinds of things. So fitness, health, nutrition, well-being, right? We're talking about different things. We're talking about foods to eat, of course, number one. We're talking about workouts to do. We're talking about also recovery things as well, things like hot and cold exposure, hot and cold therapy, talking about breath work and massages and those kinds of things as well, right? Different recovery pieces so that we're keeping the body right? Because we all know that if our body is out of whack, everything else is out of whack as well. And this all comes down to that alignment, right? Think of a straight line, right? If you're making great money and you have a clear mind, but you're out of shape and you don't have the body that you'd like to have or that you want to have, there's going to be a mismatch there. There's a misalignment that's happening at that point. And we want to fix that, right? We want to get in and hit all of these areas. So that's why heart is there, and it's everything encompassing the body. Another really cool thing too that I'll do is I'll actually bring in a lot of my friends into the mastermind. So I have friends that are personal trainers, that are nutritionists, dietitians, health and wellness coaches, and things like that. And I'll bring them in and I'll let them talk about it, right? Because they're experts in that field, right? And they're experts in very specific niched areas of that field as well. So I'll bring them in, I'll have them sit in for a week while we're talking about heart. We're talking about everything to do with health, wellness, fitness, and nutrition. And I let the experts speak to us, speak to the group, and just build us from there and grow us from there. And then the last one, the fourth element, is family. Family is everything to do with relationships. Now, it's not just intimate relationships. It's not just, not just your personal relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, right? Those kinds of things. It's also your professional relationships, right? Who do you know in your life that is useful to know, that is someone worth knowing, right? Do you know lawyers? Do you know accountants? Do you know contractors, right? Contractors to help you build your house, right? Different people that you might need, right? Different business professionals that can help you grow your business, wealth management experts, accountants, lawyers, right? I said some of these, but like different people that are worth knowing, doctors, medical professionals, right? All of these people, how do we get to know these people? How do we network with them? How do we grow and expand our network in different ways and in bigger ways so that we can start to meet the people that we want in our life? One of the most profound statements that I ever heard in my life is our environment is always stronger than our willpower, right? Your environment is always stronger than your willpower. And I think that's totally, totally true, right? We can try to will ourselves to do something. I will. But if we have a bad environment around us, it's just going to win every single time. And here's a real easy example, right? A real easy example is if everybody in your life smokes cigarettes, right? We'll just use that as an easy example, right? So everybody in your life smokes cigarettes. Your mom, your dad, your neighbors, your relatives, your cousins, your friends, your coworkers. They all smoke cigarettes around you, right? You can sit there all day long and try to force yourself not to smoke a cigarette, not to be, in this environment with cigarettes, but they're there, right? And the environment is going to be stronger than you. If you go to work on your computer and your desk is a giant mess and you know it's going to take you 30, 40 minutes to clean your whole desk off and to get everything organized and straightened out and find your charger and find this and find that, chances are you're not going to work on your computer that day because your environment is not conducive to you being productive, to you doing the things that you need to do. And so learning how to curate a lifestyle where our family, right, the fourth element, family, your relationships that you have with others are conducive to you getting closer to your goals, conducive to you making more money, having more clarity of mind, living a healthier lifestyle. If all of those are in sync, now they're all working in conjunction with each other. So those are our 4 elements. And this is really kind of the biggest lesson that I want to go through for today. Because I made it fun. I made it the letters of make money and have fun. So we have money, mind, heart, and family. Money is your finances, your business. Mind is your clarity in your mind, goal setting, purpose, habit building, all that kind of stuff. Heart is your body, your health, wellness, fitness, and nutrition. And then family is your relationships, your personal, professional relationships, and your intimate relationships as well. So all of that is really not just kind of a cliche, a thing that I just do inside of Make Money and Have Fun. To me, this is life, right? This is everyday life. This is every person. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner. It doesn't matter if you're an employee. It doesn't matter if you're a bodybuilder. It doesn't matter if you've never lifted weights in your life, right? It doesn't matter where you're at in your life. These are all things to look at. And so let's do an exercise together. Do I still have people with me? Who's still here? Raise your hand if you're still with me and hanging out and having a good time. Give me some thumbs up if you're enjoying this. So here's what we're going to do. This is the exercise that I want us to do. I want you to write out on a piece of paper. So grab a piece of paper, grab a pen or a pencil. Either one works. And you're going to write out for all 4 of the elements: money, mind, heart, and family. So you're writing down all 4 on your piece of paper. Money, mind, heart, and family. We have money, we have mind, we have heart, and we have family. And write them above each other, right? Or I guess you could do them next to each other, but I'd like to do them above each other. So money at the top, mind, heart, family. Money, mind, heart, family. Money, mind, heart, family, right? You're going to put them out. And then next to them, you're going to write the numbers 1 through 10, right? So list out the numbers 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10, and 1 to 10. Okay? And here's the way that this is going to work. You're going to give yourself a score, right? You're going to give yourself a score for each one. So for money, you're going to rate your money in your life right now on a scale from 1 to 10. Now, let me be clear with this. Level 10 does not necessarily need to mean multimillionaire, luxury mansion, millions and millions of dollars coming in every single month. It doesn't necessarily need to mean that. What it needs to mean is, are you at your number, right? And your number can be anything. Your number could be $5,000 a month. It could be $1,000 a month. It could be $1 million a month. If you want it to be, if that's your number, make it your number, right? Don't feel greedy. Don't feel gluttonous. Don't go down that road with any of this stuff here, right? None of that matters, right? Just think about your number. What is your number for this? And whatever your number is, ask yourself, do I have that? If you don't have it, how close are you? If your number's 5,000, you're making $4,500 a month, yeah, you should be rating yourself closer to like a 6 or a 7. But here's the other really important thing. Also factor in expenses. Because money, as it turns out, is not really the key to success, right? Income is not it. It's the income to expense ratio, right? So here's the biggest point. $5,000 could be your number. But if you're making $5,000 and you're spending $6,000 in a month, then your net is negative $1,000. So that doesn't make any sense either. So what I really want you to look at is the income to expense ratio, right? What is the ratio of your income to your expenses? Are you making twice as much as you're spending? Are you making half as much as you're spending? Are you negative? Are you positive? Are you breaking even? Right? So those are really the numbers that we look at. And you can look at assets and look at investments. But the biggest thing with this first one is, and with all of them, is being honest with yourself, right? Being honest with this number. It's easy to sit here and give yourself a 10. Boom, 10, easy, done. 10 is this perfect financial lifestyle, right? This is like you are literally living the exact dream that you envision in your mind as that exact dream. And if that's the case, please give yourself a 10. But if that's not the case, be honest with yourself. And it's okay to not be at a level 10. It's okay to give yourself a 9, an 8, or a 7. It's okay to give yourself a 1, right? Because we need to be honest with ourselves. Because if we're not honest with ourselves, we can't change anything on this, right? If you're flat broke, if you're negative, if things aren't lining up for you financially right now, don't judge yourself. Don't worry about it. That's not what we're here for. We're here to give ourselves an accurate, unbiased assessment on this. So give yourself an honest number on money. Where is your money to you? Is it a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, all the way up to 10? Give yourself a number. So that's money. Now let's talk about mind. So next one, same thing. You're going to give yourself a score on a scale from 1 to 10. Now mind is very important as well. Mindset, what we're asking ourselves is, first thing is mental clarity. How clear are you, right? I think of our mind, every human mind, the same way. Almost think of it like you're sitting in a chair and next to you in this chair is a bucket, right? So you have this big bucket and the bucket is full of water. And imagine someone came by and poured a bag of sand into your bucket. And you're sitting there with a sifter in your hand. You have this sifter and you're scooping the water and you're letting all the water drain out and the sand is sitting inside of the sifter, right, when you're done. So you have this sifter full of sand, dump out the sand, scoop it again. Dump out the sand, scoop it again. Dump out the sand, scoop it again. And that's what we're doing when we're creating clarity, right? When we're thinking about things like how much money do I want to make? What do I want my income to expense ratio to be? What kind of investments do I want to buy? What kind of business do I want to build? Right? This is all creating mental clarity. And what you could call self-awareness, you could call it introspective thought, you could call it meditation, meditative thinking, those sorts of things. So whatever works for you, right? That's kind of the idea that I want you to create. But how much mental clarity do you feel like you have? Second thing I want you to think about is purpose, drive, right? If you gave your life a direction, right? If everything came to this point and you had this North Star, this place where you were going, this thing that you're aspiring towards, that you're driving towards and moving towards and acting upon, how clear is that to you? Do you have a purpose, a vision, like just a point in your mind of what you want to create, where you want to go, who you want to be, how you want to be that person, and what actions you're going to need to take, what characteristics you're going to need to have to be that person? How clear is that? Is that murky water? Is that water that's full of sand, right? That you look into the bucket and you can't see the bottom, right? You kind of have a picture here and a picture there, but it's not real clear. It's not, it's kind of this fuzzy, ugly, sandy, grainy thing that you can't really see super well. So how do you, where are you at on that scale? Again, we're looking at 1 to 10, right? Where are you at? Are we at a 1? I have no mental clarity. I have no idea where I'm going. I have no sense of purpose, no sense of direction. I haven't built up any good habits or good routines to get me any closer or any further away because I don't even know where I'm aiming, right? Are you a level 8 or 9? This is what I want. This is where I'm going. I'm a little unclear on this and that, but I know what I want to do and where I want to be, and how all this stuff works, right? So give yourself, again, an honest answer for mind. So we have money. We talked about money. Scale from 1 to 10. We have mind. Scale from 1 to 10. Next one is heart. This one, I think, is probably the easiest one. You may feel differently, but this one is just look in the mirror, right? Look in the mirror. Look at your hospital visits, right? The last time you went to see your physician, what kind of report came back, right? The last time you looked in the mirror, how did you feel, right? Just looking at your body. And again, don't do this judgmentally. We're not, we're not in that space right now. That's not what we're here for. This is just us being that unbiased assessor of ourselves, right? Pull yourself out of all the stories that you're telling yourself, all of the red flags and things that are going off inside of your head, and just be 100% honest with yourself. These are your answers. I'm not asking you to share them. I'm not going to call you up on camera afterwards and go, okay, who wants to share at the end? No, it doesn't matter, right? These aren't answers for me. These are answers for you. And I want you to have the right answers. How close are you to your dream body, right? Your dream body, your dream vitality, your dream energy. What does that look like? And how close are you to being there, right? Do you wake up every day and look in the mirror and are proud of what you see? You're happy with what you see? You feel, even honestly, you feel, not just good about yourself, but you feel slightly aroused when you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, dang, I do look good, right? Do you feel that way, or do you feel differently, right? Do you feel there's changes that can be made? There's things that I want to tweak, that I want to critique, that I want to do differently to this. And, I need to start to put some work in on it. So again, give yourself that honest answer. If you're really far away from your dream body, give yourself a low number, right? A 2, a 3, a 4, whatever, right? If you're really, really close to your dream body, give yourself a 7, 8, 9, right? So again, just being completely honest and clear with ourselves throughout this journey as we do this. Then the last one. Let's talk about family. Let's talk about relationships. Now, this one we can kind of break out into almost 2 separate sections. So if you want, you can do this on your piece of paper. So on your piece of paper, you break out for family, one section will be professional and one section will be personal, right? I even like to break it out sometimes into 3 sections where you have professional, personal, and intimate. And the difference for me is, I'm going to kind of explain it in those 3 lenses, and you can still give yourself one number if you want. If it's simpler for you to break it off into sections, totally up to you. But let's look at it in these 3 contexts. So professional relationships. What are your friends like? That's really the question that you're asking. What do your friends do? Do your friends make a lot of money? Do your friends have healthy and fit bodies? Do your friends have mental clarity, right? So what we're doing is we're kind of using this as almost like a compass to help us gauge where the other 3 will fall. Because like we said from the beginning, our environment is always stronger than our willpower. So the beauty of family and of this element is that we're able to craft and curate a new environment for ourselves through this one, right? So again, we'll just use the example of smoking cigarettes, right? So if you're somebody who doesn't want to do drugs, doesn't want to do cigarettes, right? Doesn't want to smoke or do any of that kind of stuff, and everybody that you hang around is doing that, that's an indicator, that's a clue that you probably need to change your environment. And so if you were giving yourself an honest answer, your professional relationships right now need to be changed. So you give yourself a lower number on that, right? When they change and when you bring in new people, that's when we start to give ourselves a higher number. So think about that. What do your friends do? What do your acquaintances do? Your coworkers? Do you have in your cell phone, who can you call right now that can change your life in different ways, right? I mentioned lawyers. Why is it good to know a lawyer? Because if you get in a pinch, you have somebody that you can call. Accountants, again, you get into a pinch, you need somebody to help you out. Financial planners, right? People that can accelerate and expedite your life. Do you know personal trainers? Do you know nutritionists? Do you know dietitians? Do you know people that can move you along towards this peak level of yourself so that they can help you become a peak performer. They can help you become the best version of yourself that you can be because they're in your life? Or is it just someone else who, wants to go to the bar, they want to hang out, they want to have fun? And look, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have entertainment, right? That's not what I'm saying at all. Like, you should still have those friends that want to hang out and want to do fun things together. But again, think about, how are these people serving me? Are they helping me get better, or are they keeping me down? Right? You always hear about toxic people in your life. Are these toxic relationships? Are these relationships that we need to cut ties with? I don't know what the answer is, right? But that's where you need to be honest with yourself and see, what do I want to do here? Do I want to maintain these friends, or do I want to change them? Personal relationships is family, relatives. So you have your immediate family, right? Mom, dad, and siblings, right? Parents and siblings. Then you have your extended family, relatives, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, all of that kind of stuff, right? Grandparents, that whole thing. Think about your relationship with your family, right? Number one, first question, do you have a relationship with your family, right? And would you like to, right? If you don't, but you would like to, again, you give yourself a lower number for that, right? This is a relationship that I need to build up over time. I haven't talked to my mom in years. I haven't talked to my dad in years, right? Whatever the situation may be. Again, we're not judging ourselves here. This is not time for judgment. This is not time for the story. This is time for honest self-reflection. That's all we're doing. And, you're giving yourself an honest number on that one, right? Then you're asking yourself, about the extended family. How long has it been since I've seen my cousins, since I've seen my aunts, my uncles, my relatives, my, whomever, my nieces, my nephews, right? What kind of a relationship do I have with them? Do I have, a niece that doesn't really know me? I'm their uncle, but, I want to build the relationship up with them. I want to hang out with them more. I want to see them more, right? I haven't texted them. I haven't called them, right? I haven't done all these things. So again, give yourself a lower number for that, right? What's the relationship like with them, and what do you want it to be, right? Do you want to have a better relationship with your nieces and your nephews? Do you want to have a better relationship with your mom and your dad, your grandmom and your grandpa, your aunts and your uncles, whatever, right? And that's where we're assessing it. If you want a better one, lower number. If you have a great one, higher number. You guys get it. Last one is intimate relationships. Intimate relationships is very simple. It's boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, right? Are you in a relationship? If not, do you want a relationship? If you are in one, is it the right kind of relationship? Is it the relationship that's right for you, right? Is it somebody that's good for you, somebody that's bettering you, somebody that's supporting you, somebody that's carrying you along, or is it somebody that's pulling you down, right? And again, all these questions to ask with ourselves, right? If you're not in a relationship and you don't want to be in one, great, right? You got the whole thing that you want, right? Again, higher number, lower number. So I think you guys pretty much get the drill. At this point, you're rating each area on a scale from 1 to 10, right? And I'm going to put this down in the comments as well. Rate each from 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. And give yourself an honest number. That's the biggest thing that I can tell you with this, right? Go through each one and ask yourself, is this honestly where I'm at? Or am I, erring on the side of caution? Am I being a little bit not hard enough on myself? Am I being a little bit too easy on myself? And, I really, my finances are really like a 6, but I'm going to give myself a 7, you know what I mean? Because I feel really good. Or they're really like a 5, but you know what? I don't want to be a 5. I want to be a 7 or an 8. So I'm going to give myself 7.5, right? Just be honest. Again, I'm not going to ask you to share this with anybody. You don't have to share this with anybody. You can if you'd like to. If you want to have that built-in accountability partner, amazing, go for it. But absolutely do not have to. And again, second biggest thing I think besides being honest with yourself is allowing yourself the space right now to not be judgmental, right? To not tell yourself the story that you may have been telling yourself before, and just be with it, right? Just look at yourself unapologetically and say, this is my reality. My reality is my body is not in the shape that I want it to be in. My reality is that my finances are not in the shape that I want them to be in. My reality is that my family is in the shape that I want it to be in. It's an incredible shape, and I love my family, and I got to build up these other areas, right? So now we look at all four of them, and the first indicator, the first thing that you're going to see is what needs to be built up, right? So some of them are lower numbers, right? Most likely, right? If you have lower numbers, ones, twos, threes, and fours, and even fives, right? Those are the areas that need some attention, right? Maybe it's your family, maybe it's your heart, right? Maybe it's money, maybe it's mine. It doesn't matter, right? So now we know where the holes in the bucket are. When you know where the hole in the bucket is, that's when you can start to plug it up, right? A lot of people, they just go around and they know they have holes in the bucket, but they have no idea where they are. And that's really what these four elements do. They give us clarity on our life, because I've been in that situation before where everything is just chaos. It's just chaos everywhere, right? I'm trying to do this over here. I'm trying to build this business over here, and I'm working on my health over here, and I'm trying to build my relationship over here, and this thing is over here, and that thing's over there. And it feels like you have a million things going on at one time, and it's just all this chaos, and you never get anything done. You don't do anything because you're so confused and so blindsided by your own chaos that you've created in your life, and it feels like 8 million things on top of you. When the real truth is, it's not 8 million things. It's just 4. It's only 4 things. That's it. No more than 4, no less than 4. That's it. It's money, it's mind, it's heart, or it's family. And when we can start to map this out and figure this out at a high level, it really simplifies life. You can sit there and delineate each section of your life. All right, this is money time. We're going to focus on money right now. We're talking about money. Everything is inside of the money element, right? Same way that they talk about 4 elements, right? In like the creation of the world, you have earth, air, water, and fire, right? That's why I call these the 4 elements, because they're the creation of our life, right? They're not the creation of the world like the other 4, air, fire, earth, and water, but these are the creation of our life. Because any problem that we have or anything that's happening in our life is going to fall in one of these 4 areas. It's either affecting our money, it's affecting our mind, it's affecting our heart, or it's affecting our family, right? One of those 4 things is all that it is. And so that for me just really simplifies everything. And I think that it can do the same thing for you, right? It just really simplifies everything that's going on. It makes everything so much simpler and so much easier to traverse, to just kind of comprehend and move around and all of that. And so that's why this is such an important drill. And then rating everything on a scale from 1 to 10, it lets you see what areas of your life are really strong and really good, and what areas need work, right? And that's the biggest thing. Now you can see, here's where I need to put the work. I need to put the work into my family. I need to put the work into my mind. I need to put the work into my money, right? And when they're all becoming balanced, when everything is a 7, 8, or 9, right? All 4 of them, 7s, 8s, and 9s, that's when you start making money and having fun. That's when you're feeling good. You wake up in the morning and you don't have that tight clumpiness in your chest, that hard anxiety that you're sitting through. That's not there anymore. You wake up in the morning and you're elated, right? You're excited. Now look, I'm not saying that your life is just going to be sunshine and roses from then on out. No, of course not. You're still going to struggle. You're still going to have stress. There's still going to be resistance. There's still going to be hard times. There's still going to be difficulties in your life, but it'll come from a better place. I feel like every day human beings are on this seesaw, and we're either blessed or we're feeling blessed. We're feeling blessed or we're feeling stressed, right? It's one of those 2. You're either blessed or stressed. Blessed or stressed. One of those 2. And I think that what allows you to feel blessed at a higher percentage of time than feeling stressed is increasing these pillars or increasing these 4 elements, right? Increasing each one of these areas, getting them closer and closer to a level 10 will allow us to have feelings of being blessed more often than feelings of being stressed. And when we do have feelings of being stressed, we can look back over to the blessed side of that seesaw and recognize everything that we are blessed for, right? We can recognize that, okay, look, my family is in a bit of turmoil right now, but I have money, I have health, and I have a clear mind, and I know what to do to fix this pillar. So I'm grateful for all of that. And reminding ourselves of that gratitude, having that appreciation for those things that we do have, helps to bring us back to that blessed side of the pillar. So I hope that makes sense. There's one more piece to this that I want you to do, and this is really important. So anybody out there who can do basic math, because I certainly am no mathematician, that is one of my lowest elements is math. If there was a math element, that would be like probably a -1, for me. So thankfully there is no math element in there, although money is kind of math. But for those of us that are can do basic math, realize that if you were to add all of these up, the lowest score you could possibly have is a 4, right? So 4 ones. So if you put a 1 on money, mind, heart, and family, all 4 of those, you would have a 4, right? So that's the lowest score that you can possibly have. The highest score that you can have is a 40. So it goes from 4 to 40. So there's 36 possible points that you can get. Now, again, doing basic math, if we do 36 divided by 2, that's 18, right? So 18 is the halfway mark, essentially. So what I want you to do is take all 4 of the pillars, all 4 of the numbers that you assigned yourself for each element, for each area, and add them all up. So if you gave yourself 4 5s, your score would be a 20. If you gave yourself 2 4s and 2 5s, your score would be an 18. And add them all up, right? And here's what I want you to think about. If your number is above an 18, you're on the right track. You're going the right way. If it's below an 18, you got some work to do, right? And it's okay to have work to do. That's the main thing that I want you to take away from this, right? Don't think that, oh, you're a loser, oh, you're a failure, oh, you stink, or whatever, right? Don't worry about any of that stuff. It just shows you that there's work to be done, right? And what you can do from here is set yourself a goal. So if your total number is 15, okay? Let's say that you added all 4 up and you have a 15. Shoot for a 20, right? Say, I want my number to be a 20 by such and such a date, 60 days from today, 90 days from today, right? And maybe you have 2 really high numbers and then 2 really low numbers. So focus on the 2 really low numbers and build those up, right? Or build up the 2 high numbers a little bit higher, right? A little bit higher. Maybe you have 2 6s and then a 2 and a 1 or something like that. Focus on the 2 and the 1. Build those up. Maybe build one of the 6s up to a 7, right? And do the work that needs to be done to get yourself there. Now, you don't have to go from a 15 to a 40, right? Don't worry about going crazy with it, but bump it up 3, 4, 5 points every few months and look back after a 6-month period at the end of the year. When you look back, you'll realize, man, I was at 15 when I started, and I'm at a 37 now, right? I was at 15 when I started, now I'm at a 33, right? I doubled my number and then some, right? And this is going to bring you closer and closer to the path of making money and having fun. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that I didn't just kind of ramble on. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. Let me know if you're still here, if you're hanging out with us, if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if you have anything that really you just want to share, let me know. I'm open. this really serves as the foundation, I believe, to all of Make Money and Have Fun, right? The better we get with understanding each of these pillars, each of these elements, the better we will be in every other area. And it'll help to give us that laser focus and decide, what does our life look like if we were making money and having fun? That answer is different for everybody. For everybody, it's different, right? For everybody, it's different. It's different levels of freedom, different levels of finances, different levels of relationships, different types of bodies, different everything, different mindset, different money, all of it. And I think that using the 4 elements is just a tool that we can use to bring ourselves closer to making money and having fun. And that really is my goal for everybody. I want to help everybody create a life where they're making more money and they're having more fun with it. Because having one without the other is just the ultimate form of suffering, in my opinion, right? Being totally elated and happy and, loving, but not having enough money to buy yourself, food for that day. It's no happiness at all. Or, making ridiculous sums of money, but, being consumed in work multiple hours a day and just completely miserable and not enjoying your life is equally a level of suffering. And so I wish you less suffering, more making money and having fun. I wish you the highest elements that you can have, the highest money, the highest mind, the highest heart, and the highest family, and that perfect life that you envision for yourself. I want to help you get there. I want to help you achieve it. Cheryl, you're still here. Oh my goodness, you guys are the best. Deb and Mel, you guys are still here. Cheryl's still here. I am so thankful for you guys. Thanks so much for being here. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. Pick up a copy of your free book if you guys still want it. I'll put another post in the comments here for you. But yeah, I'm giving my book away totally free for you. If you guys have any questions, this is what we do in our mastermind every single week, right? Every single week we're going through a different element. First week of the month, we talk about money. Second week of the month, we talk about mind. Third week of the month, we talk about heart. Fourth week of the month, we talk about family. And then for months that have 5 weeks, we do like Q&As, or we'll kind of just like rap or talk about, whatever on those days. But we go deep into each one of these elements, deep into each and every single one, breaking it down for exactly what your goals are, talking with you, engaging with you. So I'm going to be doing these every single week for free. They're kind of going to be free form. I don't really have like a set parameter, like a structure, like I do in my mastermind for these. Next week, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I might talk about a book that I read. I might talk about health and nutrition. I might talk about doing martial arts because I've done martial arts my whole life. I don't know. So these are just kind of like fun little get-togethers that we get to have every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you guys are all more than welcome to join on here. By the way, share this, right? If you guys are hanging out with us, Mel and Cheryl and Deb, share this with your friends. Let your friends know about this because I'm doing this every single week. I'm not charging a penny for it. I'm giving books away every single week. I might do more giveaways and stuff like that. And, anybody who's looking to, get that exacting value for exactly what it is that you're looking for in your life and you want to build up your pillars, your elements, let me know, right? Jump into the mastermind and, it's tons of fun. And we get to, build a community and build a tribe in there where we're all working in tandem with each other toward a collective goal, toward the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. But yeah, that's basically it. 4 elements: money, mind, heart, family. Rate each one on a scale from 1 to 10. Add all your numbers up and give yourself a goal, right? Where do you want to go from? Do you want to go from 25 to 27? Go there, right? And I wish you all the best. I wish you the most prosperous, fun, and passion-filled life that you can have. Until next time, everybody, I will see you next week here live once again. We'll have to see what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you guys soon.